everybody, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Kia, or Nurse Kia, or Nurse Kendrick, or Kia K, whatever you want to call me. So I decided to come on here and talk about being a CNA in the hospital. And just, being an all-around CNA, being an all-around healthcare worker. When I first started in healthcare, I was really young. I was only 16 years old. And it initially started for me working for my grandmother. And then once I applied for my patient care assistant certification, it came in the mail, and then like maybe a week later, my great grandma ended up passing away. So it was really hard on me. It was really hard on my family. And then I soon decided to just keep going after that because it was something that I really enjoyed for the little bit of a time that I did get to do it with her. After that, I ended up getting out of high school. And that's a whole nother story later. But once I got out of high school, I did eventually decide to go ahead and get my CNA. Now, healthcare is not for the weak, but if you have stumbled up on this video and you're, just on YouTube and you're trying to look and find ways and, people with experiences that can give you some insight on being a healthcare worker, on being a CNA, well, you've come to the right place. And the reason why I made this video is because I just wanted to, kind of give some ins and outs, some do's and don'ts, things like that. If you are trying to get your RN degree or your BSN degree, everybody knows in order to get into the nursing program, you either have to be a medical assistant, a CNA, or you have to do at least 1 or 2 semesters of clinicals in the nursing program in order to even be accepted into the nursing program, which ain't easy. So if you have friends or family members like, oh, it ain't that hard, why is it taking you so long? Bump what they talking about, because life has challenges and everybody's journey is different. So don't ever think because you have started on your journey as becoming a nurse and, oh, I didn't finish, or, oh, I failed my I failed my written part the first time around, or, oh, I failed my skills the first time around. It does not matter. Try and try again, because eventually you'll have what you're going for. So I was one of those nursing students that I passed my written the first time, but I failed my skills the first time, but I passed my skills the second time I did it. I have been a CNA for now about 8 years. And I have worked in every field there is to kind of work as far as a CNA, except for all the different positions in the hospital. When I first started as a CNA, like I told you guys, I started with my PCA. But then I instantly went straight into an assisted living. I didn't go to long-term care, which I was so blessed to not go into long-term care first, because long-term care is not for the weak. TCU is not for the weak. If anybody knows this, you know that it's just not for the weak-hearted. You gotta be a strong person to do that stuff. What I will say first is, do not go into the field like, oh, I'm gonna go hard, I'm gonna work all these hours, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You will be burned out quickly. You will be burnt out quickly, because it's just not only taking care of people, you're taking care of your coworkers, sometimes you're taking care of your patient's family, sometimes you're taking care of yourself. And if you are a mom like me, then when you get home, you have other people to take care of too. So it's always best and it's always good to take care of yourself first. Now, when I first started as a CNA, like I said, I started as in assisted living. When I started in assisted living, I was super excited to learn everything that I could possibly learn. So I was one of those workers that when I went in, I was doing those doubles. I was working the man hours, going up and beyond, going the extra mile for the job, but I didn't have any kids when I first started being a CNA. So in long-term care, the things that was different from assisted living is, in long-term care, you can administer medications. You can administer medications. You can give insulin, you can give ear drops, you can give eye drops, things of that nature. Sometimes with assisted living, you do go with the residents out to appointments if their family members aren't able to take them. You will get in a taxi with someone, you will take someone to an appointment. Sometimes someone might request you to go grocery shopping with them, things like that. Assisted living is they still have their own individual apartment, but there is a office inside the apartment complex, which is considered the nursing office or the nursing department. And they give us things like keys, walkie-talkies, gloves, a bag to walk around the building. You would get your schedule for the day, whether if that be on a phone. Some facilities are still working with paper Mars and things like that, but as of lately, as of in 2022, where I have been working, they do Mars over the phone or over the iPad. And you would just get your schedule. You would go around to the different levels in the different apartment buildings, knock on their door, see if they need any help. And then you would just go in and you would do your cares. Or if, someone just needed a medication admin, then you would go ahead and do that. I don't know, my words are super jumbled today, sorry. And I also really took a liking to assisted living because you kind of got that more intimate connection with your residents, which I really, really enjoyed. But eventually it was time for me to move on from assisted living because I wanted to advance more. I worked under a lot of great nurses. I worked under a lot of great LPNs, and they're like, Shakira, you're really good at it. You enjoy it. You love it. You're always coming to work, ready to work and learn. You should really try advancing. So I ended up going to learn a long-term care facility. One of my high school best friends, my sissy, me and her were just like, trying to figure out anything to get our feet in the door as far as healthcare, and we just didn't want to be stuck as in being a CNA or being a PCA. So then she was like, let's just get our experience up and let's go to long-term care. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's do long-term care for a little bit. Well, before I ended up actually transitioning from assisted living to long-term care, I ended up having a baby, which was difficult in the beginning. It was difficult in the beginning to be a CNA and to be a mom too, but I conquered it. It took a while to get the routine down, but I ended up getting it done. So once I did started working in long-term care, I was working on a trach unit. And a lot of my patients, some were conscious, some were unconscious, a lot of different things that I ended up experiencing with trachs, which I really, really did enjoy, which got me to want to learn more about respiratory illnesses. It got me wanting to learn more about, anything that had to do with breathing and stuff like that. So eventually I started to study more on cardiology, respiratory infections, stuff like that. Like, it just really interests me. And then they also started to move me around in the unit. So then they actually put me on the geriatric unit. And I enjoyed it because I met a lot of nice people. But I'm just gonna be so honest, it was so hard on my body. It was so hard on my body because, you're working with larger people. But I did enjoy it because, like I said, I met a lot of nice people. After that, I ended up, kind of sticking with long-term care for a long time, probably about 2 or 3 years. And after that, I decided to do traveling as a CNA. I worked for a company that allowed me to travel nationwide. And then I worked with a company that allowed me to travel in my state only. And that's when I really started to get comfortable and gain my momentum. And it was like soon, I would go to certain different facilities or different hospitals, and workers would already know me, doctors would know me, nurses would know me. So it was kind of like I just really started to feel at home in healthcare in my state. So if you are, in healthcare and you're really wanting to advance, go for it. Do it. It's hard. If you're looking into being a CNA, you got those friends that are like, girl, I just can be going to work and wiping butt and da-da-da. We don't just wipe ass all the time. But if that's something that we have to do for our residents, if that's something that we have to do, then that's just a duty that you have to do. But it's so much more than that. It's so much more learning than that. I knew a lot about health, but I didn't know so much about the human body until I started to become a CNA. So for me, my do's and don'ts were, when I first started to be a CNA, I was just so hell bent on being cute at work. And that's just not what it is in healthcare. Sometimes you ain't always going to be cute at work. Like, you know, like I like wearing little earrings and stuff like that. And, you know, if you're working in assisted living where you're not just really working too hard to the bone, that's cool. Sometimes, you know, you can wear a little cute earring or, you know, a little cute little different hairstyle. But it was a struggle at first trying to be cute at work. So, you know, I would like to wear my little cute Crocs, my little different color, you know, little shirts and smocks and stuff like that. But, you know, I've had ostomy bags bust on me before. I've had people throw up on my shoes before. I've had all types of things go on while trying to be cute at work. So number one, don't, as being a healthcare worker or a CNA, stop trying to be cute at work. That's for after work. You will learn. You know, I still used to struggle with wearing my nails long. Now that I'm older, it's not really a thing for me as much more, even though I still really, really enjoy wearing my long nails. I don't always, because you can't do that in a hospital or in really any healthcare facility. You can't do that. I've also worked in clinics as well. I really enjoy clinic work, but it just was a little bit too slow for me. I'm more of a fast-paced worker when I do work. But second, do not be trying to wear those cute platform Crocs all the time. Sometimes they're comfortable for your feet if you have a down day, but just get you a regular pair of black Crocs or a regular pair of white Crocs, or, you know, some facilities might not allow you to have the Crocs with the holes in them. So nursing shoes are really, really good. I just personally found when I would wear the nursing shoes, my feet would stink, and I don't like nothing stinky. So I just stopped wearing them altogether. And then I eventually moved on to getting me a nice pair of classic Reeboks, and I put some Dr. Scholl's inside of them, and they were super comfortable, super reliable. I don't have to worry about if any coffee wastes or spills or waters or throw ups or anything like that. Nothing getting on the inside of my shoes or anything like that of that nature. Number 3, don't, is, like I said before, if you're going to go into this and you're going to be like, oh, I need to work all the man hours I can, I need to learn this place, I need to get used to it, pace yourself. Don't go into this job trying to overwork yourself, throwing out your back, because that can happen. I've had tons of injuries at work. I just don't think it's smart to do. Anybody in healthcare will tell you that's not really the smartest thing to do. Oh my gosh, I almost knocked over my camera. Sorry. But anybody will tell you that's not the smartest thing to do in healthcare. You really want to get in and you want to pace yourself. You really want to try to have longevity. So you want to treat your body, you know, not like a machine. You want to treat it like it's flesh, like you're a regular person. You know, you want to go home sometimes and take those self-care days to massage your hands, or, you know, go and get a masseuse, a body massage, or, you know, go and get a pedicure and ask, can I soak for a couple of hours, or not hours, but can I soak for a few longer minutes, or can you make my water hotter, or anything of that nature. You know, if you're at the nail shop, or if you're getting a manicure and you're hurting that week because you just kind of work kind of hard, don't be afraid to be like, look, I'll tip you, just massage his feet a little longer, you know. So there's nothing wrong with that. My number 4, don't. If you are working under rude nurses, if you are working under angry doctors, if you are working under a stressed out team, I'm going to be very, very real here. Right now in 2022 is a crucial time to enter healthcare. Why? Because there's a nationwide nurse strike going on right now, number 1. Number 2, we are just coming off of this whole pandemic thing. Now, monkeypox is popping out. You know, they're finding polio in the water. All types of different things are going on right now as far as healthcare. As a collective in healthcare, we are stressed. Period. People don't want to realize it. People don't really want to speak on it, but I do. Right now, my role in the hospital is an NST. An NST is a CNA and slash health unit coordinator, which is a HUC. And I will also get into more of the roles that you have as far as being a CNA in the hospital more. But back to just taking your time with yourself, with your friends and your family and your coworkers in healthcare. We are all stressed out right now as a collective. But that does not mean that you have to come into the field being afraid. That does not mean that you have to come into the field walking on eggshells or anything like that. If you get under someone and you notice that at the job it's really hectic, it's really stressed, don't take it personal, because it has nothing to do with you. You came to help people. You came to help the hospital or the nursing home or the assisted living or the clinic or, or the shelter or the drug abuse center, wherever you may work as a CNA or as a nursing aide, wherever you will work, you're coming to help. Because regardless of how anyone tries to make it sound in healthcare, CNAs are needed. We are an important piece and an important part of healthcare. Without us, a lot of things don't get done. And sometimes I think nurses and doctors don't shed that light on us, but I'm here and I will. So yeah, being in healthcare ain't easy at all for anybody. I don't give a darn if you're just a check-in clerk. It's not easy for anybody, but it's rewarding at the end of the day. So yeah, number 5, I would say do not eat a heavy lunch at work. You're gonna be lazy when you get off break. You're not really gonna wanna be bothered. And if you drink a lot during your break or if you eat a lot, eventually you're gonna have to use the bathroom. So when I'm on my break, I try to, at least have a bottle of water, something really light, maybe like some peanuts and some fruits and veggies. If I'm super hungry, I will go get a meal and a sandwich, but say like I get a Subway sandwich or something like that, or like a Devani sub or something, I would only eat half of the sub, eat the rest when I get home. I don't really like to eat a lot at work because after lunch, that's when like things start to pick up. That's when like you might have to serve the second meal of the day, which is lunch. People might be getting dressed, their family may be coming, you might have to get people off or up to their rooms, transport from appointments or whatever. You just never really know. So my biggest number 5 don't have a big lunch. I never have big lunches when I'm at work. That's for the weekend and for when I'm off. Now I would like to go on to my do's. The things that is great for you, the things that are great for you to do at work. You always want to have a watch. As a CNA, you always want to have a watch. When I first started CNA school, I did not have an Apple Watch. You do not always have to have an Apple Watch. Sometimes you could just have one of those little digital watches that, and honestly, those are a little bit more easier to work with instead of the Apple Watch, because you have to go into so many different channels and so many different apps and put in your password and all that to even get to your time clock or to your timer. Sorry, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold. I've been a little bit under the weather. I live up north, so the weather is changing. Wintertime is coming, so it's going to be really harsh. And around this time, that's when like colds and allergies and all that stuff start to come about. So sorry. But yeah, you do not have to have an Apple Watch. Don't think like, oh, I gotta have an Apple Watch, I gotta look like this person or that person. No, you don't. Me personally, when I had like my regular little just digi watch or whatever, I could just hit the side 2 times and it'll just start my 1-minute timer. I use the 1-minute timer for vital signs, respirations, taking the pulse, things like that. The watches come in handy a whole lot when you're actually trying to take vitals for your residents. So what I will say is always have a watch with you. And if you're not just keen on watches, with washing your hands and all that, because we're constantly doing that every day, all day. If you're not too keen on that, every room has a clock. So you can always use a clock in the room and things like that. I personally don't really like to use clocks in the rooms because sometimes when you get those residents that are extra alert, and you look up at the clock and they're like, what are you looking at? And then it like, 10 takes you away from your count or takes you away from whatever you're doing. So I just personally like to be a little discreet when I'm taking vitals. I kind of like don't like to let them know like exactly which vital I'm taking at that time. Like if I'm taking respirations, sometimes they breathe a little bit slower or a little bit faster if they know that I'm counting. So I try to be a little bit discreet when I am doing vitals. A second do for me would be if you know that you have someone that you have to get dressed in the morning when you come in as a CNA, or if you have somebody that you have to feed, or if somebody's family is coming, come in and do the hard work first. Because what I'm telling you as a CNA, and we're just going to speak from long-term care, because every CNA does not get accepted into a hospital on their first apply, because hospitals do require for you to have at least 1 year experience in a long-term care facility or assisted living. So we'll just speak from a long-term care and assisted living aspect. If you come in the morning and you get your schedule and you see that someone has a shower in the morning, or someone has a doctor's appointment, or their family is coming, or they need to get dressed to go to dialysis or anything of that nature, do that hard work first. I'm telling you, you would thank me so much. I know it's in the morning, you coming in at 6 a.m., you groggy, you probably been up all night with your little baby or whatever the case may be. And this goes for men and women. Do the hard work first when you come in, because once it starts, as that day gets to going, that work is still going to be there. And if you got to transport people to lunch and get people back from lunch, and you still trying to get this person dressed and their bus is going to be here in 30 minutes and you're trying to hurry up, you're going to kill yourself. And you're going to start to hate your job, because it's going to feel like you're doing all this work at one time and you're being fast-tracked and you're being rushed. And then it's not going to be so enjoyable for you. So yeah, get the hard work done first. Get the stuff done first. If you come in, if you been at work on the evening shift, you know, from that 3 to 11, and you got to come in the next day, and you know it's some stuff that needs to be done, and you got to come in the next day, just help yourself a little bit and lay their clothes out. You know what I'm saying? You know, just the easier stuff. Me personally, I've been a CNA for a very long time. So I know that when one shift doesn't do their job, the other shift falls short on that the work falls on the next shift. So I always try to be a little bit helpful, like, you know, laying out clothes for in the morning if I work night shift, you know, changing, making sure that they're dry for the next shift that comes in, so it won't be so hard on them. Everybody ideology ain't like mine. Everybody don't care sometimes, but I do, because, you know, it just seems like when I do that, I just always get my good back at work. I just always ended up having good days. Yeah, and I just really feel like, you know, the biggest thing in healthcare is working as a CNA is to never take things personal. You're going to deal with a lot of people that ain't going to be happy with the care of their parents or their kids or their family members. I've worked in nursing homes before where there were, you know, younger kids who had, you know, strokes and, you know, that were handicapped and things like that. I've worked with all types of people, all types of age groups. So it just really depends on you and what you want for yourself and what you want for your family. I will be taking you guys on my journey, as in to me getting into the nursing program. This will be my third try. I am a mom of 2 and I am a full-time CNA. And I am a nursing student as well. So yeah, you guys will be on the journey with me when I'm taking my TEAS test. You guys will be on the journey with me when I'm taking my, you know, state board. I will take you guys on the journey with me when I'm doing clinicals. You guys will be there for everything. I would even have some story times for you guys coming up really, really soon. And yeah, any questions that you guys would have, anything that you guys would want to know about me, this channel is going to be really, really fun. There will be mommy tips. There will be lifestyles, travel vlogs, cooking. I will be talking about health and nursing. Everybody will know if it's a health and nursing blog because I will have on my scrubs, on my thumbnails, I'll be in my scrubs. So you will know if it's a nursing blog because it will have all types of nursing things on the thumbnails. But you know, yeah, some days I might get on here and we might be cooking, or sometimes I might get on here and we might be talking about, you know, feminine health or vaginal health, or sometimes we might be talking about children's health and pediatric health. I am not a nurse yet. So anything that I say on this channel with myself, as far as my health, or with my kids, will be from personal experience, and it will be from knowledge. I will post disclaimers on if I don't know something or if I do know something. I just won't be on this channel spewing out information that is not accurate or that is not correct. But I definitely will be shedding light and insight on things that people want to know. We will probably even eventually getting into some holistic healing and some spirituality on this channel. It's gonna be really fun. My niche, I guess I would say, would be beauty and healthcare, because I'm a strong believer in them both tying into one. But it just won't be a straight niche channel. Sometimes you'll come on here, you won't know what you'll get. Sometimes it might be fun, get ready with me's, and I might be going out with all my girls to the club or something, and I might give you guys an opportunity to see us how we turn up before that. I'm a firm believer in being professional and having fun. So you guys will see a lot of both on this channel. And I just thank you guys for accepting me, for supporting me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I just thank you so much for taking out the time to watch my videos. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So tune in. Be back. Bye.
What's your name?